In today's video, I'm going to show you a CNC project that you can sell at craft shows or give to friends and family members as gifts. These are a couple of CNC bowls for Halloween. For all your CNC cutting tool needs, check us out at bitsbits.com. The bowls are made out of laminated bubinga and walnut. To begin, I rip and cross-cut the pieces close to their final size before planing the boards to 3/4 of an inch. The final size of the panels are 10 inches wide by 11 inches long, and once they're laminated, they're 1.5 inches thick. After the glue dried, I put double-sided tape on the back side of the board and placed it in the CNC machine. The first bit that I'm using is an Astra coated Whiteside 1372 bowl and tray bit. This bit will remove the waste inside of the pocket and will also leave nice rounded edges on the inside bottom edge. I used the same bit on the walnut blank, but this one's a little bit different in that the eyeballs and the nose are going to have little pockets that we put epoxy in later on in the video. The next bit that I installed was the Astra coated 1/4 inch compression bit. The first thing that I cut with this were the eye sockets as well as the nose sockets on the walnut bowls. And then I finally used it to cut the outline of both of the bowls. Since this is a compression bit, you want the cut depth to be at least as deep as the upcut portion of the bit. And to achieve this depth, I utilized a ramping toolpath so that it doesn't just plunge down the full 1/4 inch, but rather ramps down over a 2-inch span. Now keep in mind this toolpath only cut about half of the thickness of the board, which meant that I had some waste that I needed to remove first using the bandsaw. Next I headed over to the router table and installed the Astra coated Whiteside Ultra Flush trim bit to reference the CNC edge. This removed the rest of the waste. To clean up the surfaces, I first used the spindle sander to sand the tighter spaces, and then I used the orbital sander all the way up to 220 grit to sand the rest of the bowls. And to soften the appearance and feel of the bowls, I put a 1/4 inch roundover on the outside and inside edges. For the eyes and the nose, I went with an orange and a blue pigmented epoxy. It's really simple, just mix it into the epoxy, pour it into the sockets, and let it set overnight. You will form some air bubbles on the surface. To remove those, I just light a little torch, run it over the surface, and it'll pop the bubbles. Just keep an eye on it until the surfaces start to harden, and you should be able to remove all of the air bubbles. The final step before applying the finish was to sand the roundovers and the hard to reach areas by hand up to the same 220 grit sandpaper. And for the finish, since I'm going to be putting wrapped candy in the dish, I chose to use a spray lacquer. I sprayed 4 coats of a semi-gloss. Now, if you're going to be putting unwrapped candy in the bowl and you don't want to wait for the lacquer to fully cure, you could use something like a mineral oil beeswax finish that you would use on, for instance, a cutting board. Just wipe on a couple of coats and you should be good to go. I hope this video gives you a few ideas on how to make awesome gifts that you could sell at craft shows or give away to friends and family members as gifts. For more information about the bits used in the video, please visit bitsbits.com.